What is going on, everybody? Welcome into Ravens Rundown by Chat Sports. I am your host, Joey Petersen, and you will not believe what Dan Orlovsky, ESPN NFL insider, had to say about Lamar Jackson. Or honestly, with kind of the trend that we've seen of people hating on Lamar, you might be able to believe it. But nonetheless, I don't appreciate it. We're going to take a deep dive into his comments and a little bit of a deeper dive into Lamar's play this year and what he has to do to elevate it through the final 4 games of the season. Again, thanks so much for tuning in. If this is your first time with us, make sure to hit that subscribe button because we have been challenged by Steelers Talk host Jack Sperry to go on a subscriber battle for the entirety of this week. Steelers Talk currently is beating this channel. They've got 52 subs. Currently, we're sitting at 46, so only 6 behind them. Guys, I'm telling you, that's not very far behind. If you've never subscribed to this channel, if this is your first time hanging out with us, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button and help us beat Steelers Talk channel. All right, let's talk Dan Orlovsky because we've got a new Lamar Jackson hater to talk about. It's not the usual suspects. It's not the Nick Wrights of the world. It's not the Stephen A. Smiths of the world. And I'm tired of talking about those guys. But Dan Orlovsky had some new things to say about Lamar Jackson and his MVP play throughout the last couple weeks of the season. Lamar played poorly, and that's the second time in 3 weeks. Egregious misses. I thought he didn't see the field clearly and tried to do a little bit too much. I think Lamar in the last 3 weeks has played himself out of the lead in the MVP conversation. Let's start with how he played against the Philadelphia Eagles because obviously, and I don't think any of you guys would disagree with me on this, it wasn't his best game. 63.9% completion percentage, 239 yards, 237 yards, 2 touchdowns through the air, and a passer rating of 101.3. Honestly, when you hear all those things, it's like, was it really that bad? And no, it really wasn't that bad, but it's not what we're used to seeing from Lamar, especially through that middle stretch of the season. Okay, I got more to talk about, but I want to hear from you guys first. Let me know in the comment section down below, what is Lamar Jackson's chance to win MVP this year in 2024? I would have said a couple weeks ago, it was almost sitting at 100. Unfortunately, I think it's dropped just a little bit, but you guys let me know in the comment section. You're about to get hit with a YouTube ad break, and this is the pinned comment on today's video. So find that comment and reply with a scale of 1 to 100. Let's look at the MVP odds as they stand right now, okay? Josh Allen, after his winter wonderland performance against the San Francisco 49ers on Sunday Night Football, he has jumped both Saquon Barkley and Lamar Jackson and sits as a favorite at minus 225. And then you got Saquon Barkley at plus 350. And I know he's been playing absolutely out of his mind over the past couple of weeks. Then Lamar Jackson sitting at plus 900. Definitely took a big fall over the last week or two. And then Jared Goff at plus 1200. It's pretty clear to say that he probably has played himself out of the lead or out of really any kind of contention. Jared Goff has with just the way that the other guys are playing, okay? And I want to start something off. I don't necessarily disagree with Orlovsky, okay? I know that's crazy to say because I talk about he's ripping him. I talk about he's disrespecting him. But if you just look a little bit more intently at the stats of the last 3 games, we all know that Lamar has not played to the level that we've been used to seeing him play at, okay? He has a 61.7% completion percentage, 207 yards on average per game, 5 touchdowns, 1 pick, okay? Now, that's not atrocious, but again, it's not the level that we're used to seeing, and it's happening at times where we're kind of needing him to be at his absolute best, okay, against the Steelers. He was great on Monday night against the Chargers, but then struggled a little bit in really big spot against the Philadelphia Eagles with that really physical defense that they have. But I think it's ridiculous to say he's played himself out of the MVP conversation when you still look at the overall season stats, and he's top 2 in pretty much every single one of them except completion percentage. And when you look at his completion percentage, it's still better than Josh Allen's, okay? He's dominating everybody still that he's in the conversation with. He's got a completion percentage of 67% flat on the year. He has 3,290 passing yards on the season, 29 passing touchdowns, and only 3 interceptions, okay? So to me, it's crazy to say that he's played himself out of the conversation just because these last 3 weeks. I think you can say he hasn't helped his MVP case over the last 3 weeks. I would agree 100%. But to say he's played himself out of the conversation when he is still putting up these kind of numbers and you still got 4 more games to add to them, I think that's absolutely asinine, okay? We're talking about a guy that's most likely going to throw for 4,000 yards and has a really good chance to hit 35 touchdowns. And you're saying that he's played himself out of the conversation? That's ridiculous. But I think at the end of the day, I think this is possible to be a good thing for Lamar, okay? I think that this can just be one of those things that I don't want to say motivates him, but kind of just gets the pressure off of him. He has so much pressure on him to win a Super Bowl, to win in big games, to show that he could be a quarterback who could pass the football, to lead his team to victory. And then you add win an MVP on top of that. That's just a lot to put on one guy. That's just a lot to put on one quarterback. And so I think that this might be just a good thing for him to be able to take a breath, just take a step back and just focus on winning football games and focus on playing football games, okay? Coming up next, I've got a little bit more on Lamar Jackson and kind of a deeper dive into the past 3 games and the things that he's been missing, but also the things that he's been doing pretty well at. But before, I got to give a massive shout out to the sponsor of today's video, and that is our friends over at Game Time. Game Time is the place to go for the best seats at the lowest prices guaranteed. Game Time has a new feature. It's called Game Time Picks that makes getting tickets to see your favorite teams play live even easier. Game Time Picks filters out the fluff to show you only incredible deals on great seats, so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets. The tool highlights the best deals, including great and amazing deals, which are the highest value seats at the time. For some events, Game Time Picks also identifies a super deal, which is the best seat value in the venue. I talked about it in the build-up to today's episode, but my Tennessee Volunteers will be making their debut in the college football playoff in just a couple of weeks, and you can bet your bottom dollar I'll be getting my tickets to that game through our friends at Game Time. They have last-minute tickets and flash deals, views from your seats. They also got the lowest price guaranteed. It's the easiest app to use. It's the only ticketing app I have on my phone. I think it's the only ticketing app you should have on your phone as well. So download the Game Time app and take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. By downloading that app, create an account, and use code CHATSPORTS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code CHATSPORTS for $20 off. Download Game Time today. What time is it? It is game time. All right, guys, I want to go in and just talk about a couple of throws that he's missed. And really, we're going to look at one major one in this past game against the Philadelphia Eagles, okay? I know it's kind of hard to see this one. It's from a little bit of a zoomed out view. But you got Isaiah Likely there. He's wide open. The nearest Eagle is like 10 yards away from him, and he just airmails it, okay? And this wasn't like the only example that I could find. It's the only example we're going to look at today, but I think we've all seen this kind of thing happen over the past couple of games. I'm mainly thinking about the Steelers game and this game against the Eagles, okay? Just a couple of times where, yes, he made some great throws, but he also missed some wide open guys, like Isaiah Likely there, in a big moment in that game when you're going on a big drive to increase the lead to even more that you've already got it. And that ball's not even close, okay? What I need Lamar Jackson to do is just be a little more consistent, in my opinion. I feel like he's a guy that's either an 85% completion percentage guy or like a 58% completion percentage guy, okay? I need him to be a little bit more consistent and a little in the middle of that. And if you're going to miss throws, that's fine. You're a quarterback. You're a human. You can miss throws. Everybody misses throws. but just make sure it's not the ones where guys are wide open with not a near defender 10 yards from them, okay? But also, I do want to give him a little bit of credit as well because he has been throwing absolute dots at some point. This pass to Mark Andrews for the touchdown was absolutely ridiculous. And of course, Mark made a fantastic play, high pointing that ball, but Lamar's drifting out to his left, throws it on a frozen rope into double coverage, and Mark Andrews makes the play. Beautiful pass, okay? That one was capitalized on, but we all know Lamar has a ton of ones that aren't capitalized on, okay? This one, Nelson Aguilar. This was third down. He throws a beautiful deep ball to Nelson Aguilar, 5-yard line, could not be in the breadbasket more, and he drops the football, okay? He drops the football. And honestly, even if he would have come down with the football and not dropped it on the way down to the ground, he wouldn't have gotten 2 feet in because he didn't have the wherewithal to get both feet in, okay? And so if you're Lamar, you got to start hitting open guys a little bit more. And if you're a receiver or pass catcher on this team, just catch the ball. My goodness, this guy does so much for this team. The least you can do is catch it when you're wide open. So I got a question for you to kind of round out today's episode. Should Lamar be MVP? You guys let me know in the comment section down below. Type Y for yes and type N for no. Make sure you guys follow me on Twitter or on Instagram, or X as they call it. You can find me at both places with the exact same name, Joey Petersen 8. Very important. Make sure you get that Petersen with an E, okay? My entire life, I've had hundreds and hundreds of people misspell it. And so if you want to find me on any of these social media platforms, hit me up at Joey Petersen 8 and give me a follow.